What's up, gang? Welcome to the Business of Strength podcast. In this episode, Dan and I are going to talk about how we created a front desk system that turned our non-existent front desk into a profit/customer service epicenter. And we're going to basically show you how to streamline your process, create a revenue-generating profit center, and an area for your clients, customers, and potential clients to hang out, meet with your clients, meet with your employees, and really just be a end-all and be-all center of your gym. And one of the big issues that most people get is they just don't want to spend the money, but we're going to show you why you need a front desk and how you can start creating an admin system that's going to offload tons of small, menial, day-to-day duties like scheduling and billing and things like that. And we're going to tell you how you can easily turn the front desk into a major profit center that's making real money, because we know we're going to show you how our desk went from making zero to making real money, and how to get it all started. So that's going to be we're going to be an awesome episode today. We're going to show you how to create and delegate work at your front desk. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Varsity House Gym, a world leader in strength and conditioning. For more information on our programs, you can go to varsityhousegym.com. We have a new sponsor, Fresh Prep Market. You can go to freshprepmarket.com. And this is a concierge food prep service. Better food, more choices, delivered fresh to you, never frozen. Fresh Prep uses only the finest ingredients: Bell & Evans chicken, prime all-natural beef and bison, wild-caught fish, fresh vegetables, herbs, garlic, olive oil, and fruit juices. That's it. It's about as good as you get. We've been getting the meals here for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they've been truly fantastic. Again, if you'd like to attend one of our Business of Strength mentorships, you can check out any information on there. We got a couple of them coming up. We have another one coming up in March 7th and 8th, I believe, right? And that's going to be here at Varsity House Gym. And that'll be, you can check out all the information for that at strengthentrepreneurs.com. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Lastly, don't forget to give us a 5-star iTunes review. It really helps us out, and it's really important to us, and we appreciate it very much. And we're going to start giving away some prizes and some giveaways like shirts and some cool gifts and stuff to people that leave us really great reviews. So take the time, if you can, to get in there, hit the 5-star button, and if you can, spend a minute and write us something nice on there. Write me a love story. I really appreciate it. Okay.
Welcome to the Business of Strength, powered by Varsity House Gym, the podcast for strength entrepreneurs.
Dan, let's just talk a little bit. Why don't you start, Dan, and just talk a little bit about, well, I guess maybe I'll start, because I'll start with no gym, basically, and then, we'll talk a little bit about, like, the evolution of the front desk and kind of how it came. Because I think when we talk to most of the strength entrepreneurs in our mentorship groups, the biggest issue is that they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to pay for admin help, and they don't want to spend any extra money on payroll and employees.
It's very hard to visualize paying somebody that, in a sense, is not servicing billable hours. And I think that's the biggest hang-up for most strength entrepreneurs, where it's like,
Sure.
Well, if I hire a coach and they're going to do 3 session hours per day, and those session hours are worth $75 per hour, that's $225 per day. Well, then I can afford to pay that coach 30%, 40%,
Right.
50%, whatever it is. And when you are hiring a front desk administrator and somebody that's going to help you oversee those processes, it's very hard to put a price tag on their value.
Yeah, like what do I charge? What do I pay out for scheduling? What do I pay out for calling clients and things like that?
Right, exactly. And one of the number one things, obviously we're going to get to it today, I would tell those solo entrepreneurs, those solo strength entrepreneurs, that hiring somebody to do some of your admin should be the number one thing that you look to do from the get-go. Before you hire an assistant coach, I would look to find some admin help, whether it's your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, whoever it's going to be that helps you with the back end of the business for 4 to 8 hours a week, that you could pay them something. And that would be the very first thing that I would do in terms of being a solo strength entrepreneur, is to have somebody help you with the billing, the scheduling, upselling services, client communication, because it's just it's overwhelming when you
Yeah.
are the coach and you have to do all those ancillary things as well.
That's what I was just going to say is like most of the guys we talk to and some of the guys we consult with, the number one thing, what's the biggest problem? I'm overwhelmed. I have too many things that I'm doing. And it's like, well,
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? And it's like a treasure list of like 10,000 things. And it's like, and half of it is like stupid crap that they could just, not that it's not important, but it's like as an owner or head coach, how much time should you be spending on doing the schedule? Like, should you be spending 3 hours a week
Totally.
doing a schedule?
Look, a story that we've gone over this on the podcast before, but I'll remind everybody here. In 2009 at Varsity House Gym, we had a lot of clients, we had a lot of members, we were busy, seemingly busy,
Yep.
and our tracking system, before we had any administrative help, before we even had MindBody, we would go upstairs at the end of the day and we would say, hey, who was here today?
Yeah, who was
and
in your
have,
group?
We would have a check log of
You're holding the log right there. It was like some sketchy ass notebook.
I think at 4:30 we had these 6 people, and I think I don't know if that one person was here. And we always gave them the benefit of the doubt. And at the end of the year, when we got MindBody and we compared and contrast, when we really almost had the same amount of clients and we were servicing the same amount of people, we're like, oh my God, we lost almost 15% in unbilled sessions.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about administrative
$25,000 in
So-
just missed.
Well, then for
sessions.
us, then that's what it was worth.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what administrative help was worth. So that's how we were able to put a price tag on it and move forward from there.
Yeah, I mean, so like if you think about like what is the front desk or why do you need one, and I believe that you do. I believe that every gym should have some type of walk-in front system that is as simple as a crappy little desk with a computer, some brochures, and some business cards, and like your schedule book and things like that. So like when I had my first gym, when I opened up the first gym in 2006, I literally had a crappy desk that I bought from Staples, my computer, and I made up a couple crappy brochures that had spelling mistakes all over my. I always
figures.
yeah, and the stick figures, right? Whatever those were, I don't know. That was just. It was
Stock.
it was stock logo off of some publisher computer whatever it was. And but whatever, when you walked in, it was like I had a brochure, I had a couple things to give you, and it was like whatever. It was totally unorganized, and there was no POS system or anything like that. But there was something there. So nowadays there's all these beautiful POS systems like MindBody and Millennium and stuff like that take care of 90% of that back end admin work. So you can set up a small desk with all of your stuff on there, and you can have your POS system, and the POS system does so much of the tracking and monitoring for your clientele that the days of me and you like counting sessions doesn't exist anymore. Now when a client comes in, they log into MindBody, you got a session in your schedule. It's super easy.
I think another thing, so the evolution of us doing everything on our own with our coaching staff, and then we hired a client, Susan, who came on, and she was doing 10 hours a week. And the thing is with that is obviously made mention of that before, but our clients got used to when Susan was going to be there. So it's like, oh my God, well, we're open for 70 hours a week. Like, what are we going to do when we don't have an admin person here? It's like, don't worry off the jump. Your clients will get used to when there's admin support. So if there is a situation that a client they need help with billing, they need help, they want to, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is you're trying to upsell, whatever it is that you're trying to, in a sense, customer service, they'll wait. And they got used to Susan being there Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. And she was there from 3:30 to 8 Monday and Wednesday, and Saturday she was there all morning. So she got to interface with a lot of different people. And obviously, as we realized the depths of the impact that can make for a business, then now we have somebody at the front desk from 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday, and Saturday, Sunday. There's
open
somebody
to close.
open to close, and that's
every day.
but that's what it evolved to.
Yeah, sure. It didn't start that way.
I would never tell somebody, a brand new strength entrepreneur or somebody that's
you got to spend 90 hours a week in pay.
Absolutely
No.
not, absolutely not. But again, it's
10 to 20.
Your busiest hours.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely. And
Sure. So like if you're like primarily like a general pop gym, you could literally have somebody come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 a.m. to let's call it 12 p.m. Right, and then have somebody come Tuesdays and Thursday nights or something like that, and now you have a little bit of a balance where you have some things going on there. And like you look at from our standpoint, And like, just look at it from a pure customer service standpoint. When have you ever walked into a retail store and there wasn't a sales associate? There wasn't somebody there to help you, right? When have you ever walked into, when you walk in, we always use the restaurant analogy so much when we talk about, training, but like if you walked into a restaurant and there was no hostess and nobody came to sit you or nobody came to help you, right? You probably would just walk out at some point. So like the same thing in a gym, like when people used to walk into our gym in 09, 010, before we got the front desk set up, they would literally walk in, we'd all be training people, the door would open and it would be like a record stop, and everybody would just look at the front door.
The scene from Rocky 3.
Yeah,
when Stallone's going to Apollo's gym in L.A.
Yeah.
Everybody, he's like, see that look, Rock? That's the eye of the tiger.
Right? And we'd all turn and we'd be like, who's going to go talk to this guy, right? And then one of us would go running over, and we'd be super busy. We'd be super busy, and like you're not putting your best foot forward. So you're like, oh, here's a brochure. Come tomorrow if you want to come try something. And you really didn't have like any well-defined systems whatsoever. So, and one of the things we absolutely didn't do is I had no time and nobody there to take their information, set up a communication log, make sure that we called that person back properly, that we kept them in the communication, maybe add their... How many emails do you think we never captured in that first, from 06 when I started the gym to 010 when we got the POS, and probably thousands of emails. People just walked in and walked out, and we never even took a name, email, phone number. It was like unbelievable, and look, I kicked myself in the ass, but that was part of the reason. So, after going to Pat Rigsby, and he was like, "You guys suck at selling." We were like, I was like, "I don't suck. Let's go drink some bourbon. We're in Kentucky. Fuck it." And by the way, the bourbon is probably the best thing about Louisville. And that's about it. But but it was so like we had this very unprofessional customer service center, and that's really what it was. So like
trying to sell high price services.
Yeah, trying to sell. Like imagine walking into Mercedes Benz and like nobody helps you. Like there's nobody there to greet you or nothing like that.
And I believe our training services were rightfully so valued at that price.
Oh, no question. From a coaching standpoint, we talk about this all the time, and we were super focused on the product and super focused on providing the absolute best strength and conditioning.
Which I think most people should, but you also should.
You should be,
right?
no doubt. Like you got to have a lockdown product. Like there's a lot. I think one of the reasons why CrossFit has retracted a bit in terms of the number of gyms that's opened up is because a lot of business people, people that were trying to catch lightning in a bottle, jumped on that CrossFit bandwagon, and those gyms failed miserably, right? You can't just be a businessman to be in coaching. You got to be a people person. You got to want to help people. And if coaching strength and conditioning is your coaching game, you also got to be good at the X's and O's of that. It's like if you were going to hire, I don't know, a business coach, and he didn't know shit about business, that's not going to really go over well. Right. So the front desk is really it's an epicenter. It's an epicenter, and you could turn it into a profit center. We make money off the front desk. We sell products, we sell services, and the girls sell tons of training programs up there, tons.
For sure.
So
also that brings us obviously to our first point of billing, where I want to make sure I don't miss this point here, but one of the things that I hated about, and I love this industry. This is my passion. I'm obviously living my passion. But the one thing that I hated was, you're training somebody and you're their coach and you're so focused on getting them better. And at the time we were just training athletes, and then it's like, you get them towards the end of the season and it's time to renew for the next block, and it's like, hey man, you owe me $400, and it's like, no matter what, it sucks. No matter what, it's not cool. And just having somebody else take care of that. Yeah, they don't see you one and the same. It's like, oh, like I know Leslie, she's part of billing. Like I know when I get a call from Leslie, like it means I owe money. It's also in a sense like in the NFL when a guy gets cut in camp, the head coach and the positional coach, they don't have to call. It's a scout and the GM that calls them and either signs them to a deal or cuts them. And so we've almost created that middleman here where I don't have to discuss money with clients ever unless it's part of their onboard experience. They're here for a bring a friend class, or I'm facilitating
Yeah.
a VHU gym tour.
Only-
Outside
o-
of that, we
No,
don't do that.
Only if it gets escalated to a real issue where there's
Yes.
a problem with a consistent problem, but
Which
that's
is
very
infrequent.
super rare,
Yeah.
super rare. So, so like, let's review some of the duties here and we'll kind of break them down. At Varsity House, our front desk in the customer service center started off at, like Dan said, 10 hours a week. Sue was here a couple days a week, and she started doing some billing, some scheduling, and we taught her the basic, offering list. We had all our products and stuff like that. So if she would return phone calls and things like that. So, Dan just talked about billing, but one of the absolute most important front desk processes is the ability to offload billing. So, like, all right, let's say you're a coach owner. And like Dan said, now I have to not only write programs for my clients, I have to train them, I have to interface them. I'm pumping them up. I give them this A+ training experience. And then at the end of class, I got a list of people. Hey, there's a list of people that owe me money. You know what I mean? I got to go around and remind people to pay.
Sucks.
Right? So that sucks. And like from our standpoint, working with athletes, I can't chase a 15-year-old kid for money. Like, what the hell's he know? He doesn't know shit. Like, his mom and dad pay the bill. Like, he doesn't like dip into his pocket to get that money. So I got to call the house. I got to spend time. I got to write an email, right? So like, there's more time. So imagine if you were like us, and in 09, 010, you probably had 150 athletes coming through the gym every week. And so imagine every block of training, I got to email or call 150 people.
If you have 150 people coming to your gym and it's you yourself and let's say one other full-time coach and one assistant coach, just dealing with programming those athletes, training those athletes, and worrying about billing those athletes, that's it. You're done. That's all you got.
That's it.
That's all you got in terms of time.
That's it.
You can work on nothing else, really.
So billing's one of the big things up there. We've set up a system for billing. Obviously, a lot of our POS system is set up so it's automated. So like there might be some general pop gyms out there. Let's just talk about this real quick, Dan. There might be some general pop gyms out there, and we know a few who are basically set it and forget it.
Right.
So like they get people on a monthly membership and they're set it and forget it.
There's still billing issues there.
There's still billing issues, one. And two, I still feel like you're leaving a giant void in your gym by not having a on-site admin at least a couple hours a week that's going to interface with clients, that's going to help make relationships. Think about the relationships that Leslie, Susan, Mama Lang, right, Gwen, and all the girls downstairs have made. Everybody have made with our community, right, and have made friends. They've made inroads with people, and it's like, hey, they're all hanging out. And like so many of our clients literally finish their workout and they go hang out at the front desk for 10, 15 minutes, yapping it up with the front desk crew, and it's just a fun place for people to like, chill for a little bit, have a smoothie, have some water, have a coffee, whatever, and hang out. Okay, so billing's one of the big things, and we offload. Billing is done through MindBody, but with our athletes, because of the way the athletes are, because again it goes through a seasonal and it goes through their parents. There's a lot of admin work that's required there. Okay, number two is scheduling. Right, our entire gym schedule is basically done by the front desk. So all the coaches might upload their schedule into either the written book or the MindBody, and the girls call and confirm the sessions. They check the schedule. They check session logs to make sure that, so like if Mike has a session that day and somebody he's training has one session left, that he gets a notification, hey, Mike, just to let you know, so-and-so only has one session left. Okay, great. I'll tell him to stop by the front desk on the way out today, and things like that. Okay. Scheduling is a huge thing. When you have, a dozen coaches, and you're doing like we are, 75 private sessions. You got 500 athletes coming through the gym. We have 1,500 check-ins last week here. So I mean, you got a very busy gym. You need somebody on top of the schedule all the time. The phone rings here all day long, all day and night, from 6, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. The phone's ringing. Could be a mom calling, hey, I need to change my schedule. Could be calling for the kid, hey, I need to change Johnny's schedule, blah, blah, blah. And it's awesome to have somebody there. Imagine if like there was nobody there, and every day, I got to wait till the end of the day. Imagine if you're a client and you need to change your schedule, and you call and leave 2 messages, and then, remember what we used to do? I used to give everybody my cell phone, so I'd get 5 text messages, too, in the middle of the day.
Yeah, but that's,
yo, what's up? No answer me? I got to change my schedule.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the next thing I wanted to get to. And it's like you want to have a culture where coaches and clients, it's
mutual
respect. It's mutual respect. And part of that is respect of each other's time. And the thing is that if you're in a session and you're training somebody else, you can't be on your phone texting or coordinating your schedule. So for me, I'll have blocks of time during the week where I'm available for training at these times, and I have consistencies where there's certain private clients that train always at that time, and the front desk knows to never book me at that time. There's certain times that I have groups, but there's certain times that I'm also open and available, so if something pops open, then they can book me with that. And every coach has available bookings so that if there needs to be some flex to the schedule, everybody's conditioned to call the front desk, and they know to call and ask for support there, because it's unacceptable for a client, a parent, an athlete, it doesn't matter who it is, to be just texting your coaches nonstop. To me, there's certain circumstances where maybe that'd be okay, but by and large, it's usually, to me, it's unprofessional.
Sure.
It's
And like,
just
again,
unprofessional.
if you're paying somebody $80, $90, $100 an hour for private training, or you're paying $200 plus a month for group training membership, and you got 10 people in a group training, and the coach is getting text messages and he's checking his phone and he's checking his schedule, and you don't want that crap. I want somebody dialed in on his community at that moment for that hour. That's all that matters. Remember, we always say best hour of the day. You got to make sure all that matters is them for that hour. And their experience. So you have to learn how to get rid of that, and scheduling is a big part. And scheduling here, it takes a lot of time, especially because of the young kids and the athletes whose schedules are very fluid and move around a lot. So, that's the one thing there. And if you're a gym that does a lot of private training, there's always going to be flux. There's always going to be a lot of moving parts. So, number 3, selling services, right? We teach everyone how to sell. I have a sales meeting with every employee, no matter who they are, even our coaching staff and everybody. We teach everybody how to sell, and we teach them all of our products. They have to learn all the offerings. They have to learn all the prices. They have to learn our scheduling. They have to learn everything. We give them a whole packet of stuff. Here's everything we sell, how we sell it, and even give them sales scripts on how we want them to verbalize some of those things. I have sales meetings. We do mock sales. I do a ultimate gym tour and sales meeting at least once a quarter with everyone. And that, now when a client walks in the door, I almost never have to go, almost never, I mean rare, do I ever feel like I have to run up front to make sure that the front desk is, capable and able to make a sale up there. So if somebody walks in, there's a process. Hey, how are you? Welcome to Varsity House. How can I help you? What type of services are you looking for? Oh, great. I'm here to train I heard about, training young athletes. Great. Let me tell you a little bit about our programs. Come on, let me grab a pack and I'll show you the gym. And it's like they take them on the gym tour. It's, here's our Hall of Fame. Here's all our athletes. The gym was created for athletes, by athletes, blah, blah, blah. And there's some consistent verbiage that we've taught to everybody, and there's a consistent process. Could there always be improvement? 100%. Is it perfect all the time? Absolutely not. But it's really good. And again, we've created a buffer. So like if Dan's coaching somebody and he's out on the floor and somebody walks in the front door, it's not a hot mess for certain. It's really good. And he doesn't have to feel like, hey, do 3 more sets of push-ups. Let me just run up front real quick and see what's going on. Like, that's bullshit. You should, I'm paying for this session. You know what I mean? So you have to think about those things too. Selling is a huge one. And I think that, and the girls, look at the, and we're talking about selling, and the next one is upselling, right? So, selling our primary offerings, right? Selling our training services. But I can't even imagine, I don't even have the numbers, but how many smoothies do you think the girls have upselled? Thousands of smoothies.
But they wouldn't exist without them. You know what
right.
I mean? It just wouldn't happen. And
no, when we opened up this gym and I had the the idea, I really wanted to open up a smoothie bar, and I know you were hesitant, and part of the hesitation was because, like, who's going to make smoothies? You know what I mean? How are we going to do it? I'm like, man, we're going to another level here. We're going to have somebody here at the gym pretty much 24/7. Every time, if we're open, the front desk has to be up and running, and we were at that point, we were at a different level than some other gyms might be. But so I was like, well, if that's going to be the key is if I'm going to hire admin and they're going to do tons of admin work, one of the ways that I'm going to offset their salary is by selling products at the front desk.
And at that time, it wasn't that I was opposed to upselling services.
You didn't believe in my recipes.
No, is with the smoothies, is they are time intensive, and obviously at that point, the build out was going to be significantly more.
Yeah, I mean, we
work.
added 50,000 to the build out more.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, so I wanted to sell products, but I didn't want to sell food per se.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So
Well, I have to say
it's
that
worked.
my magical idea of smoothie
it
bags,
definitely worked.
smoothie bags was the pre-made smoothie bag thing is really the clutch move, though. I have to, and if Tony's listening, I apologize for not getting all the information to you sooner. So, but but definitely, but it could just be protein bars,
Shirts,
the protein bites, waters. Gatorades, shirts, hats,
shit that
things
people
like that.
need
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they want.
Towels.
They want to rep it.
You can get those. You can get those string gym bags for $5 a bag and sell them for $15-$20. So there's lots of little things that you can make.
You think about it like almost like the front desk. If you're at this point, like imagine going to. I mean, I love going to the movies.
Yeah.
There's never been a time in my life that I've gone to the movies and not purchased anything from a concession that I know I'm getting ripped off at.
Oh, big time.
Here, we're not ripping anybody off. I mean, a water's $1. People need that water.
LA Fitness, where I go, when I go with my wife sometimes to LA Fitness, it's $2.50 for a bottle of water. That's insane.
So forget that. But like smoothies, it's fair market value, and if they're good, and if you're using good.
Natural ingredients.
Natural
and stuff,
ingredients, supplements, the whole thing. Like it's what people want. If they're not getting it with you, they're going to go get it from somebody else. So you might as well make the experience of coming to your facility that much easier and that much more inclusive, where it's almost like a one-stop shop.
And I want people hanging out.
Exactly.
I want people hanging out. I want my clients to sit. I want to see. Remember the number one thing. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We're creating relationships. We're building value and trust and relationships. That's what we're doing here. Strength and conditioning and the performance side of it is one thing. That's a piece of it. But number one, the first thing is the relationship we have with our athletes and clients. The second thing is the value we provide for them. And the third thing is the community that they live in. Do they love coming here? Do they enjoy being around the other people here? And what's better than having a nice little front desk area with like a couple bar stools where 3 or 4 of those people can sit after a class and chuck it up about how mean Coach Joe is or whatever, you know what I mean? And have their smoothie together
But also like
and hang out.
A place too where if you're dealing with student athletes, that a place where their parents can come and comfortably hang out if the sessions are an hour, what are they going to do? Drive here for 15 minutes, leave for half an hour, and then drive back 15 minutes? It's a pain in the ass. You have to create, at our front desk, we have a TV, we have stools, there's things to do, there's a windowsill to rest a cup of coffee, and there's windows to see what's going on. It's an inviting space to hang out.
Right. So, and because of that, we've been able to, how many parents of athletes have we upsold to adult training programs? Hundreds. You know what I mean? Dozens and
So
dozens.
it doesn't even matter if you're in that box gym and you talk about, having something that resembles a front desk. I don't care if it's 3 fold-out chairs and a little desk and a refrigerator with water. It's got to be clean. It's got to be presentable. It's got to be inviting for people to want to stay.
You set up the corner of your box gym with
Doesn't matter.
all your brochures, a couple cool pictures of your athletes. Maybe you have some, like I said, maybe you at that point, maybe you have like free waters even or whatever. You got a little water cooler, and it's like a place where people can sit, hang out, and you have the opportunity to talk to them and sell yourself, your services, and your brand to them. Okay, so number 5 here is client communication. All right, so this is a little bit of a broad topic here. So I think one of the most critical processes in this gym is the communication timeline from when a client or a potential client, for that matter, like a lead, walks into the gym or calls the gym through their service time, throughout their lifetime here. So, you think about like how many people call the gym, email the gym, and walk into the gym to inquire about our services. Well, what happens to them? Well, they go into a lead, generator. They go into an auto response. If you're a good gym, it's going to go into some type of autoresponder. Well, that's great, but that's very impersonal. Wouldn't it be nice if, like, your front desk staff called them back? Wouldn't it be nice if they got a real phone call, like for like once or twice, maybe like, hey, I know you stopped by last week, just wanted to follow up. Do you have any questions, stuff like that? That goes way further than some bullshit, autoresponder email. They're important, but that's not the end all. Me and Dan personally call the people that are doing VHUs. All new clients get a call from me and Dan. They get a phone call. They get emails. You know what I mean? And that's the touch that other gyms aren't doing, right? And that's a huge part of it. It's somebody's birthday. Somebody signs up for a new membership, and then we send them a little gift basket, right?
Nobody cares about your sales copy and your ClickFunnels if you're an ass.
Yeah.
Like if it is so easy to tell. If you're in a place, it doesn't matter if it's a restaurant, a gym, a car dealership, if you're just another number. You could tell in the first 5 minutes that you're there. So, it could be as simple as a 30-second phone call. It could be, a genuine thank you for doing the VHU as opposed to some long-winded autoresponder email, which are important.
They're very important.
But they are not the end-all, be-all.
They don't replace real people. You know what I mean?
They don't replace a real relationship, or at least at face value.
Of course.
The just the genuine care that you've taken a couple minutes out of your day to acknowledge their presence.
If we talk about client communication, we're talking about calling back leads. We're talking about answering question to parents of athletes. We're talking about dealing with any types of billing membership questions. We're talking about calling our clients on their birthdays. We're talking about sending home gift baskets to new clients who've just signed up for a year-long membership. We're talking about rounding up clients and reminding clients about like some special event, like our 6-week transformation or our strongman, things like that. Imagine if we had to call every single athlete and client to remind them about our strongman event. Like, the girls do an amazing job with that stuff and helping to spread the word and get people, in a sense, riled up for what's going on. So that's a huge, huge part of the front desk duties. And I'll just rattle off a couple like small ones that maybe most people, like little stuff, excuse me, that, as a gym owner, you usually wind up getting stuck doing on your spare time. So now I finish training people, whatever, 8 o'clock at night, and now I got to put 2 hours of admin work in. I got to sit there and tally up my sessions. I got to sit there and maybe I got to, one of the things that the girls do up the front is they order all the supplies for the gym. So everything from toilet paper and paper towels to cleaning supplies to gym chalk to whatever, markers and pens and everything that you can think of, plus all the front desk smoothie station, like swell station stuff, like the foods and the bars and the protein and everything like that gets ordered through the front desk. Each member of the front desk, some of them have some of those responsibilities. So they order all the supplies for the gym. By the time you're done at the end of the week, you've put in your 30, 40 hours of training. And most gym owners, if you were like we were, you were putting in another 20 to 30 hours of back-end work. And we were working 50, 60, 70 hours a week religiously, 7 days a week. We worked 7 days a week for years. It was, not an easy go, right? Cleaning, right? You have an admin up front. There's some dead time, right? Maybe clean the bathroom a little bit. Maybe clean up the front desk. Maybe clean off some mirrors, stuff like that, right? You're not looking for a cleaning, a professional cleaning company, but somebody to help straighten out, somebody to help take out the garbage. How many small box gyms have we been into that are kind of dirty? You know what I mean? And the bathrooms are not that good. And that's like the first place I go to when I go visit somebody else's gym and they want me to come like, hey, come check out my gym, coach. Come check out my gym. I walk right to the bathroom, There's, little curlies and shit on the floor. That's no good, right? No good. No good. That's a fail. That's a failing grade. The food service police and it's coming to, can't eat off these floors. No way. So like all those little details, like maybe, I don't know, we're here in the Northeast. Last couple of weeks, we had some bad snow and ice storms, right? Just keeping the front area clean of salt, snow, debris, and just helping out. Like, that's a huge thing, right? You want a nice, clean gym. People don't mind a grungy, hardcore gym, but it can't be dirty.
No.
It can't be dirty, you know?
There's one thing that I want to add there, too, is everybody wants to sell merchandise, and
Merchandising.
I think that everybody can sell, shirts. Obviously, we're wearing the shirts. We have this Valentine's Day sweetheart sale over here. So, but here's the thing.
Varsity House, the flamethrower.
Right. It is a pain in the ass if you're the coach and you have to deal with people coming up to you go, what's wrong with this size? Like, this doesn't fit me. Can I exchange this?
No, forget that.
What is the deal with that? I mean, so we got to the point where I was like, yo, I'm done doing this. I don't give a shit about merchandise. I'm going to order the stock T-shirts once a year, stock hoodies once in the wintertime. And obviously, we saw that there was demand, and obviously we put Susan in charge of that. But having somebody that's accountable just for that, if you have a lot of people that want merchandise, oh my God, the headache of offloading that to somebody else, where Susan enjoys shopping for our spring collection here at Varsity House. So, sometimes, but
it's great though. It's fun. It's fun. Look, and it gives her a real sense of purpose too, that she has played a real integral part in helping grow the brand, and she does revenue. She grows revenue, but she also grows the whole vibe of the gym. Is partly related to how it looks and the clothes we wear and everything. You know what I mean? That's a real big part of it, and so she's helped create that vibe, like that culture, the Superman shirts and things like that. She was a big part of making those things happen that people identify with as being like, Varsity House brand, right? Another really important thing is ears on the streets, right? When you have an admin that's at the gym all the time, right? And as the saying goes, shit flows downhill, okay, or downstream. It's one of them. What is it? Downhill or downhill? All right, yeah. Shit rolls downhill, right? And so, like, if me and Dan are at the top of the hill, and the clients can identify and can obviously, we have a lot of female clients here. And, the women up the front are all moms, they're all females and stuff like that, and they're all like local community people. And it's like, if they have an issue that maybe they don't want to come to me and Dana about, or maybe there was an issue with somebody in class, or maybe there was something that they want to bring up to our attention, like the bathrooms were dirty or something like that, which never happens here. But whatever it might be, they might say something to the girls, and they might say, hey, I was kind of unhappy about this, or hey, okay, is there something that, it could be anything. I mean, look, we've had lots of people in the last couple of years, where the husband maybe lost their job or the wife had to go back to work and they had to rework their memberships, but they didn't really want to know how to come talk to us. And they went to they went to Susan or Leslie and they were like, hey, is there anything that, could you talk to Dan and Joe and just see if there's anything they could do for us? Could we postpone? Could we put our membership on hold? Could we do whatever? And, and I'm a pretty, I mean, we try to accommodate as much as we can, and I'm not throwing somebody out of here, that's been a good client for a long time if they lost their job or, God forbid they got sick or something like that. So, all those little things matter a lot in the overall picture. This is not a retail store. We are not selling shoes. We are selling a lifestyle. We're selling coaching. We're selling relationship, right? These people are here anywhere from 4, it could be from 3 to some people 10 hours a week. I mean, they're in the gym a lot. The gym is a huge part of their lives, and fitness for a lot of people is very emotional. It's very personal, and whether it's losing tons of weight or escaping from your life or whatever and coming to the gym, or if it's just a true love for training, and how you value that. So they spend a lot of time and effort, a lot of personal time and effort here. You got to feed that. You got to feed that back. Otherwise, again, you're just a retail shop. What separates our style of gym from the LA Fitnesses of the world, the New York sports clubs of the world, is that personal touch, is that personal relationship, is the fact that the clients can come in and talk to somebody, and that there is somebody that's there that A, willing to help, B, willing to listen, and C, willing to help find a solution to whatever problem they might have. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a big part of it. And the girls, they get a lot. They generally now, get the brunt of all the questions and things like that, and there might be,
sure.
some are ridiculous. I'm not saying that they're all, sob stories and things like that. Some are, you guys should put in a pool. I didn't want to tell Joe because I know he'll get mad at me, but you really should have a pool. Okay, all right, yeah, I'm gonna put the pool in. I'll put the pool in next week. Right, we're gonna have a rooftop pool with a tiki bar next year. It's gonna be amazing, and Trevor will never work again. And then lastly, we already mentioned a little bit, is just a great place to hang out, and a great place for our clients to meet other clients, to hang out with our coaches, to talk to our front desk admin staff, and maybe it's you shouldn't be up there hard selling the whole time, but like if a bunch of girls are hanging around the front desk and they're all having their smoothies and they're hanging out after class, and Leslie or Susan are up there and they're like wearing the new red shirts that we all have, it's like, hey, did you girls see our new red shirts? And maybe they didn't even realize. And so there's always an opportunity for sale, but there's always an opportunity to create a connection, and I know that, that there have been numerous like legit friendships made in our gym, where people
100%.
Especially like you look at the heavy metal crew, those are like boys now. Some of the OG crew that comes to Mike's Heavy Metal every Wednesday night, like going out for beers all the time. A lot of the women have become really close friends. Gwen and Eileen have become really close friends and stuff, and that's really nice to see. And that was fostered primarily because of the gym and the front desk and having that front desk system. So if you're still questioning if you need a front desk, I think we've definitely closed that out. You absolutely need a front desk, and that can really, in a sense, add a lot of rocket fuel to your business, and that's one of the things that I think. So where do you begin? Where do you start? So here's a couple tips for getting started, right? And I think, at the very least, you get yourself a lockdown POS system and a schedule book, and you get as much of your billing and your schedule automated as possible. And you hire an admin at the very least, let's say 10 hours a week, maybe one of your community members, or like Dan said, your wife, your mom, your sister, whatever.
Barter for a gym membership.
Barter for a gym membership, right? Give away a free gym membership to one of your good, clients that you think you could, bring on board, and have them work 10 hours a week and start to work the schedule, call billing issues. Maybe if you have membership contracts, it's filling out those contracts and helping clients fill out those contracts, making copies of those contracts for the clients, do the clothing, stuff like that, right? So if you're gonna do like maybe order some T-shirts and stuff like that, they're gonna facilitate the ordering. Maybe they go pick up the order, stuff like that. So all those just a bunch of little stuff. Gym tours, somebody walks in the gym, it'd be nice to have somebody there. It's like, hi, how are you? Welcome to Varsity House, or welcome to whatever, and it's like, let me show you around a little bit, right?
Also, too, like if you could train that person, if you have a general email, that they could respond to those general emails, so they don't have to wait till the end of the week where you're trying to scramble.
Yep.
And if you do have somebody that's coming for 10 hours a week and you are a coach that's hopefully very busy, you could have that person train with your ultimate gym tour to say, hey, you know what, Trevor, you can come this Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Leslie's going to be here from 3 to 7. You tell me a time, and I'll book Leslie with an ultimate gym tour with Trevor. And, that gives you kind of that blocked time throughout the week, even if your time selection's not that vast, at least having something, you have a little bit of a backup plan to facilitate a gym tour for that one particular person.
Yeah, no question. And and as it grows, you can grow the duties. And like us now, we have a full front desk manual with all the duties, each shift broken down by what they need to do. Day shift, night shift, each day broken down by what stuff gets done on which day and things like that. But at first, I think most people should just focus on scheduling, billing, memberships, and customer service. Just being an awesome customer service rep. Super smiley and bubbly, answering the phone with tons of positivity, and just being like, people want to come in like, man, what a great hire. How great is that? I mean, look, I always break her chops because she's super, she's easy to tease, but like Sue is honestly one of the most high energy bubbly people you're ever going to meet. She's always smiling. She's always upbeat. She's got a ton of energy. And like when she's here, people like to talk to her. People like to be around. She's always positive, and that's a really great fit for what we're trying to, again, best hour of their day, not your day. When somebody walks in, what's better than getting, hi, how are you? Big smiley, bubbly face, and crush your workout today. Have a good workout. Don't forget to get a smoothie, stuff like that. It's just like a really nice touch to your gym, even if it's starting off really small. And then as it grows, and now you're selling some more products, or now you see that you've offloaded a bunch of services, and the front desk admin staff is actually like selling your services and stuff. Well, then you add another 10 hours. Now you got somebody in the morning and at night, and then another 10 hours, and then another 10, and then next thing you know, you have somebody you have a full-time admin who's working, maybe between one to three people, but working 40 hours a week. And now I have 40 hours of coverage.
There's some, I know he won't get offended me using him as an example. Jay, Jay and Jack and Nancy, they're running Max Edge Fitness in New Hampshire. They're running an awesome gym. I mean, they've got, I think, 375 members, something like that.
It's voted the best gym in New Hampshire.
Yeah, and he was at the original Business of Strength. We've known Jay for quite some time. We did our Jim Jones mentorship with Jay, and running a super busy gym and very linear process there. They train, adult GPP population, and they're literally the best at New Hampshire in it.
Yeah.
And I think he was a little opposed to having a front desk. And, obviously through the Business of Strength, we've convinced him. It's like, dude, if you have 300 members, you are sitting on the opportunity to go from 300 to 400 just by selling them more customer service, increasing their likelihood of hanging around the facility, and also you're really limiting and shooting yourself in the foot as to the amount of money that you could make off of these clients. Not selling them shit, and then started selling clothing. Put in a smoothie bar. He started repping a protein company, and I know for a fact that it's become a profit center for them.
Imagine if you sold 400 people a $15 T-shirt once a quarter, you know what I mean? That's $6,000 in T-shirts. 4 times a year, that's $25,000 in T-shirts. You know what I mean? If you have that many clients, it's like, man, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So if you own a gym and you're over, that 100, 125, 150 members, and you're getting hundreds of check-ins from those people, I'm telling you, you just have to take a leap of faith. It's got to be organized. It's got to be systemized. The front desk has got to be clean, and it will become that hangout that you're looking for and the profit center that we know it can be.
You're leaving money on the tables, fools.
For sure.
For sure, right? So that's kind of what we feel is a great thing. You can start off. We have a bunch of products, for creating a front desk. We, the ultimate gym tour, the ultimate onboard. These are free products that are on our website. You can take a look at some of those things. Those are some of the services that we offer there with the front desk. And last but not least, I'll just tell let's just look at the numbers, right? Here's the numbers, okay? Our front desk made $0 up to 2010, zero. So from 2006 to 2010, we made $0 a year at the front desk, nothing. And when I sold T-shirts for my athletes and stuff at my first gym, I basically sold them at cost. So if I bought the T-shirts for $15, I maybe sold them for $20. I made $5. It was really just the extra $5 was so that I could go take the time to go pick them up and order them and stuff like that. And I wasn't going in the hole because I always wind up giving so many of them away for free anyway, right? So I'd spend $300 on T-shirts and I'd recoup $150. I always lost money on it anyway, right? So, but we went from making $0, and now we make over 17. Now we're making close to $20,000 a quarter, okay? And by the end of this year, we'll be at $100,000 a year, just in product sales. So that's just smoothies, bars, T-shirts, and like oatmeals and some things other things that we sell up at the front desk, and protein. I think I said that though. So that's just ancillary products. So not only does that cover all of the staff pay, all the admin staff salaries from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and then some additional profit. But think about the added service that having that adds to the clientele, where all of their customer service needs are handled in one spot. We offer fresh fruit smoothies and protein and all sorts of other food products that they can use to help them with their nutritional success and that their training success. So there's a whole slew of ancillary products. So, in a couple short years, in 5 or 6 years, we've taken it from nothing to, $100,000 a year just by consistently, building it out, adding a few more products here, a few more products here, a few more products here. And next thing you know, we have this beautiful front desk suite. We got all sorts of great clothing. And we have all sorts of great proteins and things like that. We have an awesome smoothie bar and a great, simple way to set that up. And now, that's a real profit center making real money and covering the salaries. So if all you look at is product sales, well, the product sales are basically covering, I'm getting free customer service, from the front desk now because we're selling these products. So that's our take on the front desk. That's why you need one. I think it's a critical part of every great gym. I've never walked into a gym that I didn't think was great that didn't have a awesome front desk and hangout area for people to to meet and greet around. So
a gym that is trying to be profitable. We've been to some gyms where
they're not trying to be profitable.
They're selling strictly products, and you go to a West Side Barbell, there's no front desk there.
No, they don't give a shit about.
They don't give a shit about making
money.
No,
but West Side Barbell is a different type of
totally
type of animal. He loses almost $50,000 a year.
But
on
I
that
think
gym.
for somebody like me, when I first got my come up, coming in this business, like it was like, oh wow, like we want to be. We want to be the West Side Barbell. We want to be an elite FTS. Like we want to have that cachet of gym, but those gyms don't make money per se. Like the same way that most strength entrepreneurs, 99.9% of everybody's going to make money selling products in-house and selling training services
on the floor.
And that's what everybody needs to understand.
Yeah. I mean, that's so that's it, man. If you have any questions, hit me and Dan up on Instagram or send us an email to info@varsityhousegym.com. If you have any customer service or front desk issues you'd like to run by us, we'd be happy to help you out. And don't forget to sign up for a Business of Strength mentorship. We are running multiple mentorships this year. We had an amazing event last month in London that was sold out. It was our biggest Business of Strength to date. It was phenomenal. Everybody walks away with a ton of done-for-you processes, a fully built-out handbook. From start to finish, we create the backbone of your business, so all of the back-end processes. We help you create your customer service timeline. We mock sales, hot seat questions. We show you how to market and create your marketing and social media calendars, and we take all the tools that we've done over the last decade that helped grow Varsity House from a shitty little garage gym with a leaky-ass roof. Joe DeFranco, that's for you. Okay, with a shitty-ass roof and a leaky-ass roof that flooded, multiple times a year, right, to a world-class training facility, that does multiple seven-figure revenues and has, dozen employees, now we have almost 20 employees and runs like clockwork. And me and Dan are able to do the podcast and do the things that we want to do and focus on the high-end services and the high-end products because we have so many of these systems set up in place. So the quality of life that you can get from spending a couple of dollars and a few days of your time coming to one of our mentorships is huge. So check that out at strengthentrepreneurs.com, and we'll see you next time, gang.
Peace out.
Peace out.
The Business of Strength, powered by Varsity House Gym. Turn your passion into your profession and learn how to run a world-class business. Be sure to visit us at www.strengthentrepreneurs.com to learn more. And as always, at varsityhousegym.com. Become unstoppable.